Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Super Robot Punch. Today I want to do something new, for me at least. I want to talk about old school Gundam art, specifically this little guy right here. If you've been floating around the Gundam fandom for any amount of time, I'm sure you've seen variations of the classic RX-78 or the classic Zaku in blue or with additional markings. These mostly come from the MSV, or Mobile Suit Variation line of models and art books that redesign one-year-era mobile suits, fighters, and mobile armors in different styles with more specialized functions and more militaristic leanings. Coming from a military background myself, I love to see little details and flourishes that are pulled from reality and applied to this fantastical Gundam world. So I want to focus on these first two art books for this video. Before us, we have this super dope book I picked up about a month ago. Now, these are titled Msv-R, but from what I gather, they're the same designs in the two books as the old MSV variant designs. I believe these may be reprinted to coincide with modern manga covering stories involving some units and a few notable pilots that we'll mention here in my personal favorite designs for both sides of the one-year war. Remember, this is a two-part video. Part 2 will cover the Zeon art book. Let's take a peek at the Federation book. Now, full disclosure, I'm not going to go over every single page as I think these designs are worth the tiny asking price I paid for these bad boys on eBay. But I do want to focus on a few standouts, like the RX-78. And a particular standout on the RX-78 page is the full armor RX-78-2 here on the bottom left. Really digging the color scheme with its OD green and gray and more militaristic styled armor. And flipping over a couple pages, we get to see a few more variations of the RX-78-2. We have the FA-78-1 Bravo, RX-78SP, and now my favorite part. Jumping on over to page 14, we have my favorite series of suits from the one-year war, and Gundam as a whole. It's the Humble GM. Whereas in the original Gundam show, we only see the GM near the end. In MSV, there's a lot, and I mean a lot. In the top right, we have the vanilla GM, but it's in real type colors, meaning no mint, green, and maroon color scheme. We're talking cherry red and Arctic white. In the bottom right, we have the GM Trainer, which is slowly closing in on its way on my top 10 favorite suits of all time with its exposed cockpit and bare bones design. Next to that, we have the RGC-80, aka the GM Cannon. I actually just did a video about the Zeta Robot Spirits version I was able to get a hold of. That splash of black and stockier proportioned legs really add to the more artillery-styled weapons it carries. Thick thighs take lives in this situation. If we continue to flip through this book, we can see variants for the gun cannons, more GM variants, covering everything from domestic policing to long-range reconnaissance, an insane amount of weapons, domestic policing like I said initially, aquatic variations, and night vision enhanced GMs. They literally can do everything. That's why they're my favorite suit. We even got ball variants. Ships, core fighters, planes, you name it. This book has variations on so many different models and suits and even carriers, for the love of God. There's the white base. I wish we had this a little bigger, but oh my gosh, it's in such great detail. When we get to page 58, we see the action graphics section. It's really neat because it features beautifully painted scenes from hangar maintenance to in-action shots of GMs and Zakus clashing in outer space. This little book is packed to the gills with art and a bunch of stuff I can't even read because it's in Japanese. After the action graphics section, we have suits that are specifically featured in Msv-R, which covers Johnny Ridden working for, I believe, the Earth Federation's Survey Corps. I have no idea what happens in that book. There's a little excerpt here at the back end of this Msv-R book. But again, like I said before, it's all in Japanese. So my main focus when it comes to this book is focusing on the art itself. I've used this in references for making my own kits. I've used it as a reference to draw stuff. This tiny little book is packed to the gills with all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. We finally made it to the end of the book, and even the back cover has more art. This time it's units and pilots insignia. This book really does have a lot of cool stuff in it. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you like this style of video, let me know by liking and subscribing. Have you picked up any art books for yourself from your favorite shows, comics, or movies? Any recommendations out to me? Shout them out, let me know. Remember, stick around for part 2 that covers the Xeon designs.